You ever cry? But like, really? Cry? The kind of cry where you're staring out a train window, pretending you're in a French film? Well, if you've done that to a Mitski song, congratulations. You have just gained the sad girl badge of honor. In a world of moonbeam ice creams and cookie cutter pop, Mitski is out here writing lyrics that make your soul curl into a fetal position. Her music isn't just sad, it's existential. It's a sonic version of staring into a mirror at 2 a.m., realizing you're both incredibly alive and terribly lonely. But who is Mitski? And why is her music so painfully gorgeous? And why did she walk away when everyone was finally starting to pay attention? Mitski Miyawaki, born in Japan, raised all over. She's like if Wanderlust and Emotional Depth had a baby who went to music school. She's Japanese American, and she grew up bouncing between more continents than we have stamps on our passport. And she studied classical music at SUNY Purchase. I'm very sorry to the SUNY students, I do not know how to pronounce that. Imagine being the cool, quiet kid in the orchestra class who writes devastating lyrics in her journal during lunch. That's Mitski. She wasn't trying to be famous. She was just trying to make sense of her own feeling, her displacement, her identity, and somehow in doing that, she unlocked something in all of us. She's not a pop girl with a team of writers and a marketing blueprint. She's the anti-formula, a glitch in the music industry matrix. And honestly, that's what makes her powerful. Mitski's discography isn't just a collection of albums, it's a life cycle. A continuous unraveling of self stitched together with raw vocals and emotional whiplash. Think of it as a series of diary entries written under the moonlight with blood instead of ink. So let's break it down. Album by emotionally gut-punching album. Mitski's debut. And honestly, it feels like reading a shy girl's journal while she sits across the room in orchestra class, head down, viola in hand, secretly fuming at the world. Lush was her senior project at SUNY, and it leans into classical piano-driven arrangement. It's delicate, and it's already brimming with that signature Mitski. Quiet pain wrapped in beautiful sound. Songs like Liquid Smooth explore the objectification of femininity, but in a way that sounds almost theatrical, like she's mocking the system from the inside. It's not polished, but it's honest. And it plants the seeds of themes we'll see again. Identity, performance, alienation, femininity as currency. First of all, let's take a moment to talk about the title. If I'm Not Like Other Girls was a critically acclaimed indie film, this would be it. This album is cinematic, weird, sometimes borderline avant-garde. It still leans into orchestral instruments, but you can hear Mitski starting to stretch, experimenting with how vulnerability can be weird and ugly and awkward. Standout track Shame is Mitski in her emotional exhibitionist era. She's poking at the tension between wanting to be known and the disgust that comes with exposure. This album didn't make waves commercially, but it's essential context. This is Mitski learning to weaponize sadness as art. And just when you thought you had Mitski all figured out, boom! Electric guitars, fuzz puddles, rage. Bury Me at Makeout Creek is the sound of Mitski clawing out of her orchestral cocoon and entering her raw, punky, emotionally volatile era. Right from Townie, there's this restless, dangerous energy. She's playing with chaos now. The songs are shorter, messier, grungier. She's no longer whispering her pain, she's shouting it. But it's not sonic rebellion. Thematically, this album is Mitski exploring girlhood as theater, the push-pull between wanting to be loved and that soul-shrinking compromise it often demands. First Love / Late Spring, also known as my favorite Mitski song, is a standout. A bittersweet confession of desire that feels innocent, desperate, and doomed all at once. This album is when fans started paying serious attention. Mitski wasn't just sad anymore, she was feral sad. And that hits different. And then, this is it. This is the album that launched Mitski into the indie darling stratosphere. Puberty 2 is emotionally exhausting in the best way possible. It's about the second wave of growing pains, the ones you get in your 20s when you realize love doesn't fix you, and sadness isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's mundane. Take Happy, where Mitski narrates a hookup with a man named Happy who leaves her emptier than before. It's not about heartbreak. It's about emotional erosion. Then there's Your Best American Girl, easily her most iconic track. It's about loving someone who cannot love all of you. Someone who doesn't know how to love a girl with multiple identities, complex cultural baggage, and rough edges. And just as a side note, that chorus? Nuclear. This album is Mitski at her most lyrically brutal, but also her most mature. She's not just narrating sadness anymore, she is analyzing it. Okay. Mitski's masterpiece right here. This is the album where she doesn't just dive into her emotions, she performs them. Be the Cowboy is about control. Every song is a mask, a role, a persona. Mitski plays the part of a lonely housewife, a unhinged ex, a manic pixie dream girl with a knife behind her back. She said it herself. She wanted to make an album where she wasn't always the victim. Cue Nobody, a disco track about soul-crushing loneliness. It's camp, it's devastating, and it's genuine. That song is dancing through heartbreak in stilettos. Be the Cowboy is tight. Only 32 minutes long. No wasted words, no wasted seconds. It's Mitski's most controlled album. And yet, it still aches. This is the sound of burnout. Laurel Hell is not as raw as Puberty 2 or as conceptual as Be the Cowboy. It's glossy, poppier, but underneath the synths, there's a deep exhaustion. It's an album about wearing the costume of a musician when your soul is elsewhere. On Working for the Knife, she basically confesses the disillusionment. I always thought the choice was mine and I was right, but I chose wrong. This album is Mitski navigating fame. How the spotlight can be cold, how applause doesn't replace peace, how making art for money can kill the art. Fans were split. Some called it too polished, but that's the point. It's detached on purpose. Mitski is writing from behind the glass now. Laurel Hell is the sound of survival, of Mitski figuring out how to live while still being Mitski. This album is like the credits rolling on a post-apocalyptic love story. It's spacious, folksy, cinematic, in a barren, lost kind of way. If Laurel Hell is about creative suffocation, The Land is inhospitable and so are we, banger title by the way, is about letting go. It's Mitski unplugged from the machine. No big pop hooks, no industry gloss, just honesty once more. Songs like Bug Like an Angel and I Don't Like My Mind feel like a quiet conversation with God, or maybe just yourself. Sitting on a porch, accepting that peace doesn't mean joy. It just means stillness. This album is less sad guy, more withered soul. It's Mitski at her most spiritually reflective. She's not screaming anymore. She's whispering. Let's not sugarcoat it. Mitski's music hurts. Like, it hurts. She doesn't write breakup songs. She writes, I'm dissolving into an identity void and asking if love can save me. Songs. So why is it so depressing? Because she's not afraid to tell the truth, the whole truth. The ugly, raw, weird, shameful parts of being a person. Where most artists will just slap a band-aid on heartbreak, Mitski walks us through the infection, the fever dream, the slow healing, and then opens a new wound just for fun. Her music isn't for passive listening, it demands presence. end pain. And if you're anyone born after 1995, or if you're just chronically online, you probably get it. Mitski doesn't write songs. She opens portals to emotions we didn't even know how to name. Her brand is sadness, but not for profit. It's survival. And when she sings about loneliness, it doesn't feel curated. It feels shared. Now, let's talk about her pen. Mitski writes like a poet trapped in a haunted music box, changing words like love into dogs you bet on even if you know they'll lose, or desire into pearl she carries even when it hurts, or fame into working for a knife that's always cutting. Her metaphors are fucking haunting. Take this. The entire song, I Bet on Losing Dogs. Who writes like that? Who hurt her? It's romantic, it's hopeless, it's masochistic, all in one fucking sentence of the song, any sentence of the song. Her metaphors are so cinematic. You don't just listen to her music, you see it. She also weaponizes silence. Some of her most powerful moments are in the pauses, in the breaths she doesn't take. That's intentional. That's a craft. Minecraft. And when things were heating up, when Nobody became a TikTok anthem, when her concerts were selling out, when Pitchfork couldn't stop glazing her, she quit. In 2019, she announced a hiatus. She said she was tired of performing, tired of the machine, tired of turning her pain into a product. Mitski walked away because she could. Because the industry doesn't own her. Because being an artist doesn't mean sacrificing your soul for streams. Because she never wanted fame to begin with, just expression. And honestly, that's fucking punk as hell. But here's the twist. She came back. That's right, in 2022, Mitski returned. Not because a label begged her or because TikTok revived her songs. It was because she decided to. It was on her terms. She didn't return with bangers or a viral dance challenge. She came back with Working for the Knife, a song about how art, capitalism, and burnout intersect, and how she's still standing despite it all. She's not back in the spotlight. She dragged it with her into the shadows to see if it still has any sort of warmth. Mitski's return isn't a comeback. It's a reclamation. Mitski's not just a musician, she's a mirror, a therapist, scream into a void that someone else hears and says, "Oh, thank God, I thought I was the only one." She doesn't give us answers, she gives us honesty. And in an industry obsessed with virality, with neat narratives and happy endings, Mitski gives us permission to just feel messily, deeply, unapologetic. So the next time you're sobbing at 2 a.m. to a song that sounds like loneliness distilled into melody, just remember, Mitski and the millions of people that listen to her have been there too. And somehow, that just makes it a little bit more bearable. Thank you so much for watching. A few days ago, I hit 200 subscribers, and within a blink, I hit 250. That is a milestone. I want to thank each and every single one of you, whether you have just watched the video or interacted with it in any sort of way. I couldn't put into words how much that means to me. Now, I know to the big cogs up in the YouTube HQ, 250 doesn't seem like any. That's something that they'd probably hit in like 15 minutes. But to me, it means a lot. Much like today's video's topic, YouTube isn't something I do for fame or for money. I do it because I just enjoy making videos, as it's just escape for me. And even if like one person interacts with my video, that means a lot to me. I am a person that can't really put into words how much I appreciate the love that I got and have been getting, especially on the Leve video. I have thought about making like a subscriber special video about it, but I don't know if it'll be too campy. or too cheesy. But with that being said, I'm very comfortable saying if you enjoyed this video, do consider subscribing and liking, as it helps me out a lot and it just makes me happy. And if not, that's okay too. I just hope that if you were having a meal with this video, that meal was good. Right now my content is sort of all over the place, but if there's a specific artist that you would like me to talk about that I have seen, that would be cool. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.